Hi, this is Stephen Johnson. I'm the CTO and one of the iOS developers at Olive Tree Bible Software, and I just wanted to put this video together to show some of the more advanced features of BibleReader 5 and as well as some of my favorites. First thing I'd like to show off is the ability to edit notes in the split window. So I go to the Open menu, go over here to my notes. You'll see here it pulls up a list of notes, and currently in a men's discipleship group, so I'm going to go into one of those notes that we did for our group a week ago. And we get the questions emailed out to us, so I just take my questions and I post them over here. And you can see that all of the verses are hyperlinked, so I can tap on any verse and it pulls it right up there. I can see it. I can also, let's see, don't want to go to edit. Let's push that back down. I can then say, okay, I want to actually open that verse over here in the main window. Actually didn't change because I was already there. You can see there's my note. I can tap on the little note icon right there. There's the exact same note. I can make it go full screen if I want to edit it in full screen. Of course, go back, down, make it small, and have it go back away. So anyways, as I'm working through my notes, I can see all of the other verses that are cross-referenced in the questions, and I can work through the questions and start answering them. When I want to just, of course, start typing a note in, to just tap in there, click on Done when we're done with the note, and we can just edit notes right here. It's been really, really helpful for working through questions, taking notes while I'm reading. It's really nice for doing sermon notes as well. Now, to answer a lot of these questions, I've been making a lot of use of the resource guide. So let me take you back and show you the resource guide. And the resource guide takes and finds everything related to the verses we're reading over here. So on the left side, you can see we're doing Romans 6:15 through 7:1. And so over here in the resource guide, it pulls back all of the resources that have hits for that particular verse range. A couple things to note about the resource guide is every commentary will work in the commentary section, but for a lot of the other sections like outlines, we have maps, we have introductions. For things like that, you need to have enhanced content, and we've enhanced a lot of our study Bibles, map products, things like that to work even better with the resource guide. But all commentaries will always work in the commentary section. So I can see here, I'm reading over here in Romans 6:15, there's 12 hits in the ESV Study Bible, 7 hits in the HCSB Study Bible, 8 hits in the New American Commentary, and I can hit more over here to get my full hit list, and I've got quite a few commentaries installed. So you can see here I can look through every single commentary that I have that has hits on these particular verses. I can also see outlines, cross-references. So let's go take a look at some of the cross-references. And this is with the Treasury of Scripture Knowledge. And you can see here the cross-references show up as these little bubbles, and you can just tap on any one of them to pull up the cross-reference. Tap away over there, and you can go through and take a look at them. And let's go back. So let's say I want to go in and look at some commentary. Let's go to the HCSB Study Bible. Here it gives you a summary, just kind of the first two lines or just a little bit of each of the notes. This way you don't have to swipe through page after page after page to find all the notes on this particular region. So let's say I'm really interested in 6:17. I can click on that and it takes me right there. Now one thing to note is the resource guide syncs with the window over here on the left. So as I swipe through over here, you'll see the resource guide over here updates. So if I go back here and as I swipe through, this list over here will update as well. So that way all your lists will stay up to date and will sync together. Now, now let's go back, and so I'm working with this note, and you'll notice that the interaction here, it's a little bit more cumbersome because I'm in the note, right? I got to hit back, then I got to hit open, go to my resource guide, go back into, let's say I was in the HCSB Study Bible, go back into here, and you're kind of going back and forth, back and forth. Well, we do have advanced features to let you quickly switch between them. And those you can find in the settings. Go to advanced settings and then go to the gesture settings. Here you can assign actions to many of the gestures. So I have one finger double tap set to next split window tool. So let me show you what that does. So I've got the HCSB Study Bible here. I double tap, takes me right back here to my notes. Let's go ahead and open that note so I'll be in it. Double tap, takes me to the last book in the split window. Double tap, right back where I was in the resource guide. Double tap, right back to my note. So that lets me cycle through my notes, the books that I have open, the resource guide, without having to hit back and open and lose your spot. Really great feature. Now another thing I use in the resource guide quite a bit is I use the outlines. So let's go to an outline here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and look at the ESV Study Bible's outline. First thing you'll notice is you get a summary of where you're at in the outline. So you can go to the full outline by clicking on the first one, or if you'd like to go to the main Roman numeral or some of the subpoints that apply over here, you can click on those as well. And of course, this will update as you swipe through. So you'll notice that which parts of the outline apply to this. It'll update as you go through. So let's say we want to look at this one. Now, of course, the problem is as I swipe, once again, this will sync with me, right? So we can turn syncing windows on and off, but once again, you'd have to go all the way back out here to get at the sync settings. So we also have provided gestures for those. So let's go in here, and for me, I've assigned it to a two-finger tap, so I just two-finger tap. You can see there, the sync windows was turned off, so now as I'm swiping through, the outline stays just as it is. Now I want to go back and go ahead and turn syncing back on because I want to go look at something. I just two-finger tap, and sync is then turned back on. So the advanced gestures really let you customize the pieces of the software that you use a lot. It's really one of those things, that you can just go in, take a look at, and kind of customize yourself. You can see there's two-finger gestures. The three-finger gestures, just so you know, only work if you have accessibility turned off on your iPad, and they don't work on the iPhone. They're only the one and two-finger. And when you can pick each of the gestures, and you've got quite a long list of things that you can do with each of those. Now, something else to take note of with the resource guide, if you currently have version 5.0, there was a bug on updating content to the enhanced content that didn't always get configured correctly with the resource guide. If you reset your settings for the app in the iPad or iPhone settings app, it'll reconfigure the resource guide and everything will be up, running, and good. So you can also configure the resource guide if you look here at the resource guide settings, and we can go to edit and we can rearrange these sections. So if I really want my commentaries up at the top, I can just go ahead and put those up at the top, and then when you come back out here, you'll see the commentaries are at the top and then the cross-references. Let's also go back in here, and if you look at this, we can go into each of the sections, and there's settings for them, so we can turn an entire section on and off. We can also choose to hide results with 0 hits. So if you have like a commentary, say, on just the book of Romans, and you turn hide results with 0 hits on, it'll only show up when there's actual hits for it. This is really great. You can see here for things like if you have an Old Testament, New Testament commentary, and you can turn specific commentaries on and off, and you can also rearrange their order. So you can put the commentaries that you use the most up at the top. So if I want the Reformation Study Bible notes to always be right at the very top, I can just rearrange it like that. And let's come back out here, and you can see now that's my top commentary. So I really welcome you to just go play with the resource guide. There's just a lot of information in there. Now let's go down here. We've got more than just commentaries and maps and stuff in the resource guide. We also have people, places, and topics. So here we've picked up and this is driven by Nave's Topical Bible, so we've picked up the place Greece, the person Jesus, as well as quite a few topics. Whenever I click on any of these, let's see what happens when I go to Greece. It'll look it up in every one of my dictionaries. So you see it found dictionary articles on it. It'll look for any maps that it can find on it. So we can go into a map. Let's see here, we can make that map go big. There it is, full screen. If I tap, you'll see, oh, there doesn't look like there was a caption for this particular map. This came from the Reformation Study Bible notes, so you can see up at the top. And you can always click on the Go button down at the bottom. Oh, sorry about that. You can always click on the Go button down at the bottom to jump to the location that the particular map came from. So let's go back to the resource guide. First time you open the resource guide, it'll do a little configuration, and then from that point forward, you'll just see it stays up to date with you and keeps things going really fast. So let's take a look at a different map. So if I go here, here's one for the settings of Romans. If I click on the Go button down at the bottom, that'll take me to that map in that book. So we always take you to the locations in the book where we get the content from. One other thing to take note of is, let's go jump over here to Acts 2. You can also drive the resource guide by just tapping and holding on a word. Go to More and go to Look Up. And that will look up that word in the resource guide. And you can see here, once again, we've got everything on Jerusalem. So I got all kinds of maps on Jerusalem. We pulled back videos. That's a coming project with our Visual Study Bible, well as quite a few pictures. So I can tap on a picture. Let's make it full screen. And I can swipe through. Of course, to tap down here to pull up the title bar down at the bottom with the caption. So anyways, those are just some of the features of BibleReader 5 that I like a lot. There's still quite a bit more if you look at like parse text and Strongs and things like that. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a highlight of some of the features that I've been using.